America's top diplomat Antony Blinken is set for another tour of the Middle East, aimed at reviving ceasefire negotiations to end the Gaza war and discussing a diplomatic solution between Israel and Hezbollah. Ahead of that meeting, U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein arrived in Beirut for meetings with Lebanese officials. Mr. Hochstein said Washington is working on a plan to end the conflict once and for all. Those talks come as Israel says it has struck branches of what it says is Hezbollah's shadow bank across Lebanon as it expands its raids beyond just military targets. Israel accuses Al-Qaeda al-Hassan of funding the group's activities, including the purchase of weapons and payments to militants. But Hezbollah says the bank that was hit was part of its charitable wing and did not serve any military or political functions. Elsewhere in Beirut, Israeli strikes rained down across the capital and reportedly hit a location near Lebanon's only airport, just minutes before a plane was scheduled to land. Over in Gaza, the World Health Organization is preparing to evacuate 1,000 women and children in need of medical care as Israeli strikes continue across the besieged enclave. For more, Sarah Coates joins us live from Tel Aviv. Sarah, Washington sending that special envoy, that's Amos Hochstein, to Lebanon to revive ceasefire talks, and also Antony Blinken headed to Israel for talks as well. What more do we know about both these talks that are taking place?
Hello there, Wei Su. It will be Antony Blinken's 11th wartime visit to the region. He is expected to land a little later today after departing from the United States. Now, what he'll really be pushing for this time around, once again, is a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, also a hostage release deal that would see these 101 hostages still being held in Gaza released. Now, it is important to mention that we've seen this many, many times before. None of these ceasefire attempts really coming to fruition. Now, alongside that, the US Special Envoy Amos Hochstein, he's actually just held a press conference in Beirut. What he spoke about is the US's idea of a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. He said that this would be based on Resolution 1701. He said it would need just commitments from both parties after years of weakened implementation. Now, we do need to remember that 1701, that was one of the things that stopped that war back in 2006 between Israel and Lebanon there. It would need full respect from security of both countries, of the security terms around the blue line. It would also mean that there would be no foreign forces in Lebanon without the consent of the government, with Hochstein saying that he wants to ensure this is the last conflict for generations. Now, according to a number of senior US and also senior Israeli officials, the Israelis want to have the freedom of operation to operate aircraft in Lebanese airspace and also to be able to have troops to actually monitor this blue line.
I mean, well, Sarah, certainly not helping the prospect of any kind of a ceasefire. We're still waiting for how Israel might respond to those attacks by Iran earlier this month. But reports suggest some pushback from within the Netanyahu government.
Certainly, we do understand that there was a very high-level security cabinet meeting held here in Israel last night. It went on for about 6 hours, and these ministers rejected calls from both the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and also the Defence Minister Yoav Gallant to actually decide on the timing of this strike, with a number of leaks coming out of that saying that they want to green-light it, but at the last minute. Now, it also comes as US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has come out just a couple of hours ago to say that he doesn't have too much information on this anticipated strike. He says it's hard to say exactly what the strike will look like, calling it an Israeli decision. But what we can tell you is that this is a region on edge. People here have been bracing for this Israeli retaliation on Iran after that unanticipated missile attack on the 1st of October. We do know it will happen. We just don't know when this will happen. Wei Su.
Oh, thanks. Sarah Coates reporting live there ahead of these meetings, or ongoing talks rather, in Tel Aviv.